Welcome back to the proving ground, where you will show us how much you know, how much you've paid attention to my ramblings.
Or how little I know and how distracted I've been whenever you're talking.
All right, so welcome back to the game show. There are two categories that are familiar and one that's different. And there's a theme to this episode. So
Awesome.
I noticed that in the last episode we basically just ended up talking about the Imperium and Chaos, just sort of where it goes. I'm reading the Horus Heresy, so it's where my mind goes. But we left all the aliens out of it. So
Those aren't the aliens?
today, all of these questions, or all these elements of the quiz will be somehow Xeno-related.
Okay.
All right, so
Didn't even know that was a different thing.
you're
This is going to go great.
the two familiar categories are pronunciation and hot takes. The new category is which one's 40K?
Excellent.
So which one of these three would you like to begin with?
I think that sinking feeling in my stomach is confidence. Let's start with which one's 40K.
Which one's 40K? All right. So this is very simple. It's very similar to the which one remained loyal, which one fell to chaos, but I'm going to give you two images. One of them is of a Google image search of a 40K alien. The other is going to be another Google search image that in no way is related to 40K. And I just need you to tell me which one is the 40K alien. That's all.
Excellent.
So this is gonna go great. All right.
Is it going easy, medium, hard?
Oh,
Are they all the same difficulty?
I'm gonna be honest. I was trying to set it up that way, but I don't know how you'll find each one of these.
You're right. That's the sweetest way of saying everything is difficult for you. Good luck. And you're right.
All right. So I'm going to be sending you two images. I will give you a hint with each one.
Oh, okay.
So this first question, and the hint is included in the question, is which one of these is a 40K race, and which one of these is an alien race from a popular sci-fi video game?
Oh, okay. Oh, I had so much confidence, and it was immediately taken
You
away
had so
from
much.
me
I
by me.
heard the oh, and I was like, oh man, he's played this game, and then it went away.
Okay, the doom and gloom gray one, I think, is Halo, and whatever the hell is on the other side is it. Process of elimination must be 40K.
Correct. Congratulations.
Yes. I remember trying to shoot those little buggers at a friend's house growing up, and I never was any good at it.
Nice.
2D platformers or bust. I am terrible at FPS games, but I recognize them.
Fair enough. Well done. All right. Next.
Tell me about the aliens, though.
Yeah, sure.
On the other side.
So that is the Tau, or the T'au, based off whether or not you wish to pay attention to the apostrophe that they've randomly got in their name.
Or stubbed your toe while you were talking about them.
Pretty much. They're one of the, I think they are, they're not the newest, but they're one of the newer factions that were included in 40K. Newer being years ago, but of the factions, they're one of the newer ones. They are sometimes jokingly referred to as anime space communists. They're a short-lived, quite foolish race that somehow has figured out how to build super advanced weaponry that kind of rivals anything else in the galaxy. The only reason why they don't really succeed is twofold. One, because they're very small. Like their coverage of the galaxy is like a couple planets. They're a tiny empire. The other reason is that they try to be a bit too understanding. They keep thinking that like, oh, maybe we can work together for the greater good, and no one else agrees with them.
Well, yeah, they're the happy do-gooders in a no, we like being upset and mad and sad kind of world.
Yeah, they were pretty much in a lot of stories like the very clear good guys. Later on, a lot of the stories started coming out and changing that, making them a bit more grimdark along with everybody else. But
Hmm.
I was actually in a 40K store earlier, and one of the guys was a Tau player, and he was like, in any other in any other universe, we would be the villains, but because we're in this one, we're the heroes. Yeah,
Ow!
the Tau. All right, congratulations, you got that one
Thank you.
handily. Now, question number 2: which one of these is a 40K alien, and which one of these is a alien from a cult classic sci-fi movie?
Oh no. I don't immediately recognize either of them. And is that one holding an organ that is also a gun?
Maybe.
Classic sci-fi movie. All right, the one that's red and purple seems almost too crazy for 40K and is giving me Yu-Gi-Oh card energy. The other is very bug-like, almost typical. I think that the 40K one is the green insect, and the other one is something the heck else.
Incorrect.
No!
There is nothing too crazy for 40K.
What in the world?
Yeah, that is a gun. It is a biological gun thing that like grows out of its arm.
Of course it does.
Yeah. That is a Tyrannid. I believe that is a Tyrannid warrior. Forgive me, anybody, if I got that wrong. I don't play Tyrannids, but I believe that's a Tyrannid warrior. And the other one is the bug alien from Starship Troopers.
What even is a Starship Trooper?
It was
Next time.
Yeah, it was a sci-fi movie. I don't like it, but other people do. But yeah.
Okay, flesh gun. That is now in my vocabulary for 40K. Add it to the glossary.
Yep.
That's ridiculous looking.
Yeah.
Tyrannid.
Tyrannid. The Great, also known as the Great Devourer.
That checks out.
Yep. Well, you're 1-1. You've got a chance to still be in the green at the end of this category.
Sweet deal. Let's do it.
Now, you're
I'm stretching for trivia. How stupid is that?
all right.
Gotta make sure I'm loose and limber to get all these questions I've never practiced or heard anything about before. Correct.
All right. Your question, and hint included, though I don't know if it'll be helpful, but one of these is a 40K alien, and one of these is an image I found on Google when I typed into the search bar goth alien elf art.
This is gonna be so embarrassing for me.
I'm the one who just had to say the sentence that I looked up goth alien elf art.
No, that's a good point. Let's think about how silly it was that you did that, and not how silly it is that I'm gonna whiff on this. Goth alien. Which one of these is a 40K alien?
Mm-hmm.
And which one of these is the silliest Google search you've ever typed into the internet? Goth elf. Goth alien elf art. Okay, so one of them looks like Loki with a bunch of knives.
Mm.
Very fantasy. The banners are definitely giving me 40K vibes because it doesn't matter if you're a robot or a goth alien elf wizard. Everybody's got a team, and you got to have a banner.
Mm.
So I'm feeling, and he's got heads. Why has he got people's face? No, that's just a skull. Skulls also very 40K.
Mm.
Okay, and then if a monarch butterfly was purple and also a woman who wishes that she did not exist anymore. She's clearly sad to be here. I'm going Green Horn Man is the 40K alien. The other one is some very nice monarch butterfly woman art.
That is correct. I don't know about the
Yes!
monarch butterfly bit, but that is correct.
Excellent.
Yes, that is a Drukari.
Oh, you know what? It's probably not the monarch butterfly one. It's the green one, the Luna moth. That's what I'm thinking.
How much do you know about butterflies and moths?
Not very much, really. Just like that's it.
Oh, because I was gonna
But
say,
Drukari, I freaking crushed it.
I was gonna say next time you could just start quizzing me on butterflies and moths if you wanted to.
I can with enough prep time. I can give you questions you can answer.
Yeah, I'm sure.
2 for 3.
2 for 3.
2 for 3.
2 for 3. All right.
It really was the skulls and the banner. That was it. The rest was like I have absolutely no idea.
Yeah, I I had the thought as I was going through like prepping for this. I was like, I should do like a Drukari. What's a comparison? Like, because every other one I had like this comparison in mind, like Tyranid. I thought of Starship Troopers. I was like, I can do that. But then I was like, what do I do for Drukari? And then I got fed up with thinking, and I literally was like, I don't know, goth sci-fi alien elf, and I just looked around that for a while. Not as creepy as I expected the Google search to be, actually. There was a lot of, like, weirdly, like, I don't know, cute, like, hand-drawn things.
Mm. Yeah, the woman is almost, like, angelic in an kind of demonic way. I don't know if there's anything like that in 40K. Everything feels so cold and metallic and, like, battle and war. That would definitely be a contrast. If it actually existed in the 40K universe.
Yeah. All right. 2 out of 3. We'll give you a success on that category. Would you now like to move on to pronunciation or hot takes?
Humble me with some pronunciation, please.
All right, pronunciation. Let's go.
What a great start I'm off to.
So, this is going to be 3 questions. I did try to stagger these into a bit of a easy, medium, hard leveling system. And this one is going to be perhaps a bit of a cheat because this character does have a harder name, but I'm going to give you the title he most commonly goes by, and that's a little bit easier.
Okay.
So, the first one, all you have to do, I'm going to give you the name of a 40K character, and I just need you, again, these are all aliens, and I just need you to try to read the name and pronounce it as best you can. Number 1, coming up.
All right. I'm going to read through it maybe once or twice, and then I'll give you my final answer.
Got it.
This literally looks like Commander Farsight, so that.
Yep, correct. Commander Farsight. Fantastic.
I can read English. My public school education has not failed me. I am, in fact, literate.
There you go. There you go. It's perfect. How do you feel after that one? I know that one was a stress test for you.
I've got adrenaline in my veins. I feel alive. I feel like I can speak and read the English language as good as pretty much any other 7th grader.
Beautiful, beautiful. 7th grader.
I could probably read the words Commander and Farsight, don't you think?
I would hope before 7th grade they could.
Okay. I was a slow learner, all right? Let's go to the next one.
That's all right. All right. Question number 2, a little bit harder here. Could you please pronounce that name?
Okay. We're going to give some reps here. It's Yv Rain. Yep. Yvrain.
That is correct. It is
Let's
Yvrain.
go!
Well
Yeah!
done.
Yvrain. It just felt right.
What is that's wonderful. Lovely job. Now,
Thank you.
this
Eighth grade level.
eighth grade level for that one.
Little tougher.
Now, this one is actually special. This is the hard one. But this actually does not come from me. Because on our last quiz video, there was a lovely commenter who suggested a name I should have given you. And I thought it's perfect. So it's a bit of a lengthy one. Just do your best.
Okay.
And
Always.
We'll see. So here, the hard name. Please pronounce this name.
No. All right, here we go. We're getting the reps in.
Yeah.
Do some squats.
Yeah.
Get limbered up. Gazgakul. Is that 2 syllables or 1? Gazgakul. Gazgakul. Gaz. Gazcool. No. The g is gotta be in there. Is Gazgakul. No, Gazgakul. Uruk. Cool. Gazgakul. Gazgakul Mag Uruk. Thraka. Wow, this guy's name's nuts. Gazgakul Mag Uruk. Uruk. What? Uruk? That's nuts. This guy. Okay. Gazgakul Mag Uruk. Thraka. Chosen of the gods. Gork and Mork. Warlord of the Goth clan. And the mighty prophet of Dawag. Final answer is Gazgakul Mag Uruk. Thraka, chosen of the gods. Gork and Mork. Warlord of the Goth clan and the mighty prophet of Dawag.
Yeah, you got it. I'll give it to you.
Oh, okay.
You're pretty close. There's a couple sounds that maybe are a tad off, but you got like 98% of it. I'll give it to you.
Did I get the Dawag?
Yeah, you got the tawa. Yeah, and I love how accidentally you just actually started to slip into the proper like cadence and like guttural speech that these characters actually use.
Well, as it is written here, the gods. There's only one way to read it.
Of course. Yeah, this is Gazgul Mag Uruk Thraka, chosen of the gods, Gork and Mork, warlord of the Goth clan, and the mighty prophet of Dawa.
Give me the first 4 again.
Gazgul.
Gazgul. That is so many letters for such a short name.
It is Gazgul Mag Uruk Thraka.
Gazgul Mag Uruk Thraka. Very chanty, very tribal.
Yeah.
Very cool.
He is the biggest orc and the best orc.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Only the best spores for him.
Yep, the best spores. His head was recently cut off, but he's the biggest orcs, and orcs are never beaten. And so a medical physician among the orcs called a pain boy grabbed his head and stitched it on the severed another body that had been decapitated, and Gaz came back because he's just that kind of a fella.
Obviously.
Yep.
Can't keep chosen of the gods down.
He was once so frustrated that there was a portal to hell in front of him that he headbutted it and it went away. I love 40k orc reasoning. It's awesome. All right, well, congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right.
What would you give me out of 3?
Um, I'll give you 3 out of 3.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, I think you're great at this. You know, I think you're a natural.
I stand up to the plate and
Mhm.
swing it whatever you pitch. That's for sure.
All right. So, last category is, of course, 40k hot takes. Now, once again, there's no real rhyme or reason to this one. It's sort of just whether or not I like your answer, I'll give you a point. And as kind of like the last one, this is mainly going to be me bringing up potentially controversial, potentially burning questions that could be volatile and seeing if we can stir up some trouble, or you can stir up some trouble. So,
Right, and this is where I put on my I actually know a lot about 40k hat on, right?
yeah.
Right. It's about persuasion.
Yep, it's about persuasion.
Convincing answers. Okay.
And I'm going to be honest, this is pretty much all just random references. Sit back and enjoy. So,
Amazing.
this one is for any of you classic fan fiction readers out there.
Right.
Which
Love a little bit of make believe.
Yep. So, question for you. Question number 1. In the realm of 40k, this is more of a conceptual question.
Right. Big picture.
Big picture.
We're zooming out.
In the realm of 40k, can love bloom?
Absolutely.
Really? But it's such a
it
harsh
may not
world.
last long.
Ah, okay.
It may not last long, but it does bloom.
Mm.
If only to be snuffed out and to drive home the fragility of life, the depravity of man, and the evil that will ultimately consume us all.
That was a very succinct and potentially highly accurate answer. So do you think there would be any, just again, more of a conceptual question as a follow-up. If one
And Horse and Magnus. Can't forget about Horse and Magnus.
That's a callback. If one, let's say that there were 2 people that were romantically interested in one another.
Oh yeah.
If one is a human and one is an alien race that thinks humans are on par with dogs, like actual dogs, is that weird? Would that relationship be weird?
On the everyday streets, it may be, but it does seem right at home at most furry conventions. So in the right context, it is as typical as breakfast when you wake up in the morning.
Fair enough. No one can debate that, I guess. All right. All right. Awesome. Thank you.
I'm so informed.
Thank you. Oh man, this is so helpful. I'm learning so much. All right. So this next question, you know what? Yeah, I'll give you a point for that. Success.
Yeah.
All right. Next question. I'm gonna send you a picture of 2 people, and you know, take a chance, look at those photos because the question's about these 2 people. The question is, what's going on between these 2?
Wow. Okay. One appears to be a space marine captain. The ornament on his head is almost Roman. Very interesting. Perhaps an oath of moment sealed on his breastplate there. Okay. Angry, but not vengefully so. So strong convictions as an individual. Sir Tom, we'll call him.
Got it, Sir Tom.
And what is going on here? This is Glinda.
Glinda.
Glinda. What is up with Glinda? She's got fans,
Hmm.
but not cheering supporters. Really, just that one fan she's holding.
Hmm.
She's she does her own thing.
Hmm.
She's on her own. She is an astromancer of sorts. Uh, and when you've got your head in the stars, past the clouds, there really isn't much room in your life for anybody else, anybody else's attention. Even you can't even be cared for. So on Sir Tom's travels, as you can imagine, he was fighting valiantly alongside his men,
Hmm.
and his life was in the balance. He was at the knife's edge, so to speak. He was at the gunpoint, and Glinda almost accidentally decimates those who were Sir Tom was fighting, and he was overwhelmed in the moment by the fact that his life was saved, and was enchanted by her almost headless Lego like beauty. And he now chases the stars for Glinda, but she never looks back. She never turns around, and the most he's ever gotten is just perhaps a moment in her presence before she zooms off to the stars again, never to look back at her love who chases after her.
I have so many questions. So, would you say that she's wicked?
Yes.
Oh man, I didn't know we'd be getting
Yes.
into musicals in this.
Yep.
Oh,
The only song is the one of Sir Tom's heart, which will always go on.
yeah. So that guy's name is Rabute Gilliman. but Sir Tom. We'll stick with Sir Tom.
Sir Tom. He's
um,
been knighted recently. Congratulations.
You know, I'm a sucker for a good story, and so I'll give you a point on this one just because you told a good story. It was wrong. It, it was completely wrong, but
What? Well, it was a surprise to me.
you have this weird talent that you find like keywords when, like, last time we did this, you were just talking about, like, I think it was like the Iron Warriors, and you were like, they don't get paid enough, and that's like, it's just so funny to me, and I don't know how to react to it. Like, you're at this point, you're like, oh, like, and Sir Tom's life, it hangs by the knife's edge, one could say, and I'm like, yeah, his throat was slashed with a knife, and he was poisoned by it, and he was like stuck in stasis until she came and saved him.
She saved him?
Well, she basically wanted to, like, use him to kind of like help her side, and so yeah, she's a priestess of the Eldar god of death, and so she came to the Ultramarines and was like, hey, your Primarch is on death's door, right? And they're like, yes, and we've been guarding his life support for 10,000 years. And she goes, great, I'm going to kill him and then bring him back with, like, this death resurrection thing. And they're like, we will kill you. And then chaos attacks, and she's like, later, and she runs over to the health stasis pod with this creepy mechanical guy named Belisarius Call. And, ooh, that's a good pronunciation one. I should save that. And they go over, and it's one of my favorite sections of a book where she, the current leader of the Ultramarines, a guy named, oh man, I just lost his name. I feel like a complete buffoon. I just lost his name. What is his? Marnius Calgar. There we go. And
unforgettable name. How could that possibly have like slipped your mind?
But Calgar like looks over, and that's, by the way, the name that you pronounced earlier, Yvraine. That's Yvraine. The elf there. That's Yvraine. But she slashes Gilliman's life support, and it says that, like, even over the throes of battle, Calgar heard his lord, like, exhale his final breath, and it would haunt Calgar to the ending of his days. And then this, like, big, powerful suit of armor called the Armor of Fate is put on Gilliman's body, and then all of a sudden Gilliman stands up, and he's alive again, and he's been unconscious for 10,000 years. The last thing he was aware of, he was fighting one of his, like, traitor brothers, and then he just wakes up, and there's Ultramarines he doesn't recognize all around him, and Chaos Fighters all around him, and this random alien elf witch that, like, just killed him, and...
Did someone say witch?
And yeah. And he looks at the situation for 2 seconds, and then just jumps into the thick of it, and just starts punching heretics through columns. It's awesome.
That is awesome. So she actually did resurrect him.
Yeah,
or
she did.
Yeah.
It's
yeah, because he died.
Yeah, he fully died, and she brought him back. It's unclear if she did something else wibbly jibbly in the meantime, but yeah, she brought him back. Rebute Guliman, or Gilliman, as it's pretty much always pronounced. I'm gonna give you full marks, full credit.
All right, sticker up, top right corner.
Yep. And you know what? We just got one last question, and I'm just going to ask it to you straight. And I just want you to give me your blunt, and I want you to be brutal on this one, right? I want you to be honest with me.
Right. Only the truth. Singular. No alternatives.
To go back to something that we talked about earlier in this video here.
Magnus and Horus.
Are the Tau ruining 40K?
Ruining 40K. Of course not. Everyone needs a foil. We need good, we need evil, we need hope, we need despair. We need the yin and the yang. However small their portion of the universe is, 40K would be nothing without the hope that the Tau bring to each battle, to each interaction, to each conflict. In fact, we are all, as readers, the Tau. We're bringing the positivity and hope that we have for our own lives into the stories that we read of 40K, and are, in fact, despair just the same way the Tau are when our favorite characters die. And then they get resurrected. And they might die again. So I think quite the opposite. They are the beating heart of 40K that doesn't get the appreciation it deserves.
So just to clarify, are you insinuating that all readers of 40K are weeaboo space communists?
Whether they like it or not.
It's undeniable.
They might say "Tau," but you know, I don't make the truth.
I just say it flawlessly.
I just share it with the world.
Oh, well, I don't hate the Tau, so yeah, sure, full marks. Go for it. They don't have noses. They got this, like, wide divot in their face.
That they breathe through?
I guess. I don't know. They have mouths, though. So I don't know. They're, like, weird.
Well, if they're mouth breathers, then they're absolutely ruining 40K, and I retract my previous answer. So, while the jury's out on that one, I'll stick with what I said, but...
Awesome.
Let us know in the comments if the Tau breathe through their mouths.
That... I want to take away a point for that.